Well, guys, I don't think my congressman likes me very much. Welcome to Jay Explains. Irvington does cancer. As usual, I'm Jay, and before we get started, you know the drill. Like, sub, share, speak. All the YouTube things. So on April 4th, the Township of Irvington had a colorectal cancer awareness event that was presented by Mayor Voss, the Irvington Department of Health and Senior Services, and the man, the myth, the legend himself, our congressional representation, DPJ, Donald Payne Jr. Colorectal cancer is a big deal to our congressman, as you'll see. It claimed his father's life, and so he has dedicated a lot of his time and attention to the matter, and that is to be commended. Colorectal means your colon and your rectum, your stomach lining and your butthole. See your doctor, get a colonoscopy, or a direct screening. Please take care of yourself. See how fast that was? What I'll do is I'll toss a link or phone number on the screen, so like maybe a national one, but that's the entire gist of the event. Granted, there's a lot of flyers and extra information though that I didn't get because me and Congressman Payne had a very tense and frank conversation that involved a lot of linguistic lateral moves and gold medal mental gymnastics that I want to share with you. No, I need to share with you. Guys, I talk very, very slick. My wit and mouth tend to be a problem, and I say that not to brag, but because I apparently said something so egregious to Congressman Payne on Facebook that he has continued to hold on to that butthurt since our last encounter, which was the 10th Congressional District video. There's a link in the description if you want to play catch up. Now, exactly what I said was a mystery. I don't remember, and neither does he, but he gave him all the emotional ammunition to try and sit me down and explain how the world works, I didn't even get a Werther's original. Let's take it from the top. He claims to know me, despite mispronouncing my name, then proceeds to tell me how Irvington, a township, and Newark, a city, are the exact same thing, and how in touch he is with the people because he has had the same house in Newark for 50 years. In the last 2 weeks, I've had a mayor tell me the U.S. Supreme Court is wrong and a congressman tell me a town and a city are the same thing. Fuck am I doing with my life? I made a joke that I learned my passive aggressive from white people so he couldn't beat me in that arena. He tried aggressive with laughable results. Dude, seriously, you're almost 60. Come on, be a statesman. We discussed a myriad of issues. When it comes to immigration, he tried to feed me the company line of who's going to pick out the fruit. I informed him that Americans happily would for the right price, and he goes in on $8 oranges, but I come back with the free market. He admitted the issue is about cheap labor, and it was a hard pivot to guns, where I expressed my misgivings about the exploitation of the Parkland kids, so he stops me and asks if I knew how old Dr. King was when he began working in civil rights. Me being intellectually honest and lazy because I'm not going to search on the back of my mind for the information, I admitted that I didn't. I was expecting him to tell me his age, but he never did, so I look it up later and Dr. King was 28. Got me good on that one. Also, DPJ was completely unaware of the 1,000+ migrants headed towards the border through Mexico that's since been said to have been disbanded, but he should have known this was taking place. But this isn't an episode of Unbound, so we're gonna move on. He believes me to be a Republican, Trump supporter, even though I'm a registered Democrat on paper and a free thinker in real life. I've always maintained that even if Trump is the monster that you want him to be, he isn't the first and won't be the last, so it's nothing to trip about. I'm not going to complain. I'm going to deal with the world that I have to make it the world that I want. So this mountain of assumptions that he stood on was flimsy at best. And when he did eventually get around to actually asking about me, he kept trying to find my selfish and sneaky reasoning behind this crusade. One lesson that I've learned about deceptive people is that in their minds, things only tend to make sense if there is some nefarious motive behind what they're trying to do. That's just how their brains operate. But what the congressman wasn't expecting was full-throated, no homo honesty. I let him know that distributor of illicit products was a former profession of mine, and that I spent a large portion of my life as an outlaw. I admit it. I was a part of the problem. Literally, no thanks to the propaganda pumped into the community that no one did anything about, and even encouraged with such measures as the DARE program. Our communities are built to breed outlaws. Congressman Payne is 59 years old. He was 23 when I was born, yet he's making this ginormous leap that we have somehow come up anywhere near the same era. I'll put it to you like this. He was 13 in 1971. I was 13 in 1994. 1971 compared to 1994, these are two completely different worlds, dimensions, universes, and whatnot. Currently, Irvington's poverty rate sits at 23%, and it's embarrassing. It's the root cause of all of our problems, and the saddest part is that the massive increase in decay took place during the Obama administration. Who do you think the elected class is truly loyal to? The people or the party? In America, 23% poverty isn't an accident. There's this sentiment that 23% poverty, that's the only argument you got, James.
That's your only argument?
It's the only argument I need, Sean!
Our community is in crisis. I would complain about broken homes, but in too many cases, the houses were never there in the first place. The government has incentivized and encouraged the single mother epidemic, signed legislation seemingly designed to take our middle and working class away, along with a laundry list of initiatives and programs that haven't had the results promised, but definitely the results those who would want to see our communities in disarray love. Yet, all I got from the congressman was butthurt about statements he can't even remember and lectures on how I shouldn't be so mean to grown-ass men. So, how productive do you think the conversation was when I'm focused on my hometown and he's focused on his feelings? I'm going to leave you with the congressman's remarks at the event. He says a few things I really want to highlight. Thank you so much for putting up with me. Please, do all the YouTube things. Like, sub, share, speak. DPJ was heavy in his feels, and I admit I may have said something that struck a nerve. And when he pressed, asking why I would be so vitriolic, I replied that I'm angry, and I have every right to be. Do you disagree? Let's discuss it in the comments. And until the next video, love. Take it away, DPJ.
The greatness of this country. So I go to Washington every week to try to fight for the things that are important to our community. And, please call my office, write letters, and that's the only way I know how you're feeling. So when I'm in Washington, I can articulate that to my colleagues on what we need here in the 10th Congressional District. One of the things that I have really taken a hold of and have become a national spokesperson for is the whole issue around colorectal cancer. And this past month was Colorectal Cancer Month, Awareness Month. And I have had, since I went to Congress 6 years now, I had President Obama sign a proclamation for me every March. Now he didn't like signing, he didn't like doing it a lot, but we were persistent, and he understood the importance of making people aware of this terrible disease. It is the second leading cause of death among all cancers, and it's the most curable. So if it's caught early enough, you don't have to, suffer with it. So that doesn't make sense. It's the most curable, but there's only one cancer that kills more people. That doesn't make sense. So the thing is to get the word out to people and let them know that being checked is important. Because if you're screened for it, they can detect it and eradicate it, and you're fine. What brought me to this whole fight was a man that was a learned man, educated, served his community all his life as a teacher at Robert Tree, sick, and became a freeholder in Essex County, and then became a Jordan City Council person, and then became the first African American congressman from the state of New Jersey. My father, Donald Payne. But with all of his kind of don't, I'm not going to do that. But it's unfortunate. We would still have him here as your congressman. I would rather still be a Newark City Councilman, but for the loss of my father. So I've taken this position because he's not there. And I wish so much that he was here. Because he was my rock. He was everything to me.
Yes.
He's my mother, my father. My mother died of brain cancer when I was 4 years old. And my father raised me and my sister. He never, I didn't get sent on to an honor grandma or something. And this was in the 60s. He said, no, I'm going to keep my child. And, a lot of pushback from family. Young man like you, he was about 27 when my mother died. And, at that time, we didn't leave babies with a young man like that. But his mother died when he was 8. And the way he was handled, he didn't have a very good childhood. Bounced around, some family members that didn't, treat him very well. So in retrospect, I look back and I said, he didn't want us to go through what he went through.
Right.
So he kept us, and that's what it was. Yeah. After thinking about it for a long time, he just wasn't going to have us be in the same boat that he was. And so, but for colorectal cancer, he'd still be here if he was screened in time.
Yes.
So, I just want to let you know that I go to Washington every week on your behalf, thinking about the things that you need done on a national level and fight for those every single day. And so, like I said, Blake Johnson back there is on my staff. You can reach him or need a card. He's available. He works with my father. He's been doing this longer than me. How long are you? 13 years. 13 years. So he's with my father 7 years. So it was funny when I went to Congress, I was the only one in the office didn't know what I was doing. Because I kept his whole staff. And, not wanting anybody to lose a job and all that. Plus they were all experienced. Yeah. So it really helped me hit the ground running because everybody had to learn how to move around, in Washington and doing the work we need done. So it really helped me get a jump ahead of a lot of people because they're trying to figure out where you go. They know all of it. So, they've been a real godsend to me too. So I used to get mad. They were running me for a little while, had me like a puppet. I said, had me like a puppet. 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 Had me like a puppet.